500,000 lights, 300,000 people, 2 robotic Santas, and electrical bills that would make you sick. And you think your neighborhood goes crazy at Christmas? Welcome to Candy Cane Lane.
Who in their right mind would live on this street? Who?
For 49 weeks of the year, 148th Street appears to be just a nice little street in a normal middle-class neighborhood. But then, in the dying days of autumn, the dragon begins to stir.
Over here.
And the ritual begins once more. When you live on 148th, there's a lot of pressure to play the game, because out of some 200 houses, only 9 don't participate. Bottom line, this street is obsessed. So if you live here, you decorate. Or suffer the consequences.
When we had first moved in and it just started to get a little bit cold, I had one short lady walk up and say, you know, you better decorate, because the kids will throw eggs at you, they'll rag you.
And the critical job of exterior decorations falls to the men. Why? Because just like mowing the lawn and taking out the trash, putting up Christmas decorations is a guy's job. And these 3 men are all honored to do their duty for Christmas and Candy Cane Lane.
My personal take on style would be very laid back, relaxed, and casual. Conservative, normal, mainstream, and average.
I would describe my overall style sense as messy, perhaps senseless.
So how does a whacked-out artist find himself residing on a traditional street like this?
When my wife and I first had children, she, of course, who is domesticating me, would drag me down Candy Cane Lane, and we'd drive down here, and she'd be with the babies. Oh, look at the nice lights. Oh, look at the nice Santa. And I'd be over here saying, the fools! Who are these people who would live here? Look at these thousands of people walking up and down the street. Oh, get me out of here. And then, of course, several years later, here we are.
Before we moved to Candy Cane Lane, we never ever put lights out. We would put up a little 3-foot tree about this big and put it in the house, and that would be pretty much it for the decorating for Christmas.
Our original 3-foot Christmas tree?
Now, being a round peg on a square street means Rob's got to do it his way.
My question is, are we going outside or inside?
Both.
Okay.
Let's bring them onto the property again. Let's invite them into our house.
We have a zero budget. we're relying on your creativity. We could get away with not putting one light on the outside, put runners down.
She wants to be realistic about this, and that's the problem, really. Really, she wants to plan an idea that we could actually complete by the deadline. I don't want that. I want something that's impossible, you know, and put me on the border of divorce, marriage.
And while Rob threatens his marriage, Max gets busy decorating because he's got literally thousands of lights to put up. Not to mention one biggie-sized Santa.
Okay.
We put them in the same spot as last year?
Yeah.
Got them.
There we go.
There you are, Santa.
Santa's ready. There.
Probably going to be, by the time I'm done, over 600 or 700 feet of rope light. And probably each foot has 10 lights in it. So it'll be 7,000 little bulbs by the time it's done. This year I'm doing more of a subtle approach, using techniques more in the LED light area and rope lighting. They'll last 200,000 hours. It's incredible. You can save a ton of money.
Max is putting up a nice little display of, 7,000 lights, Just a couple thousand more than last year.
Every year he wants to add more and more.
And if you want the lights, then you need the extension cords.
I'm pretty proud of my collection, and I really like it, and that's why I hang them so neatly like this, because it's pretty awesome when you see it.
The extension cords aren't just for show. Max knows if your display is going to jump, then you need the juice.
This is one of the keys to making a successful light show work without tripping off a whole bunch of breakers. Nice to have it outside because it's cold and your breakers can handle things better in the cold. And then this is on a box here that comes in at 220 volts, just like a dryer. And then this plugs in and it's on a timer, and I can plug in up to 12 items. I admit I'm hardcore. If I could get 2 of these boxes, I would.
Max is into power, whereas Dave, he's into relaxing.
Okay, I guess I'm...
While his neighborhood is busy decorating, Dave is busy taking it easy.
The reason I'm not decorating today is I traditionally decorate in the 11th hour or the last day when the lane opens, so I'm taking it easy and getting ready. The weather's good today, so that's why they're all out.
Dean, do you want me to start testing these lights?
I would call them fair weather candy cane laners. Right now my neighbor Dean is busily decorating across the street. So being a good neighbor, I better go over and offer him a few words of encouragement.
Boring. I told you what boring is. Same old display? 15 years in a row you have the same display? Yeah. I want you to get off your wallet and change it next year because I'm getting really tired of looking at the same old thing. Yeah, Can you do that for me, buddy? You're copying me too, buddy. I brought this golf ball extender idea to Candy Cane Lane. I'm glad I could help you.
Yeah, well, it's just that I perfected it.
Yours is better, eh?
Yeah.
I snapped mine last year.
It's a golf ball retriever, but I've just adapted the end of it so that it works good for putting up the Christmas lights.
I've got a new invention this year I'm going to release, Dean, so I'm sure you'll copy it next year.
Dean does a great job. We like to kid each other all the time. So you'd think you'd get motivated and get a little more excited and try to do something new.
There we go. They're all set for Christmas now.
Our plan is, who knows what the plan is. We're just going to dive in and go to town. If I can get her to agree on my idea, that would be much better. And we need lights.
My idea is you have the 3 snowmen and a little guy, okay, inside the house. There's nothing on the outside again this year. I mean, we can spend a little bit, but lights will probably be the most expensive thing.
Bobby and Rob have only been on the lane 1 year. Last year they did a radical design with no outside lights.
We brought people onto our property and had them walk up and look in our window. If there was one flaw in our site last year, it was the lack of house lights. We didn't have the Christmas lights, and that was the one thing that probably hurt the big show.
They think of what's in the box.
We'll have 300,000 people walking past our house and then mailing us answers in the mail.
This year their biggest problem is agreeing on what to do for a follow-up.
As soon as we agree on what it is, we can actually move forward.
So have the little snow boy out front building a person.
Oh, okay.
Instead of a person building a snowman. And then have the mom and dad snowman in the living room looking out. My decorating style is unique and it's got the Rob twist, so whatever I come up with, it'll be just sort of a little off. A lot of other people you'll find, they'll go to a name brand store and buy a Santa Claus or a snowman that will inflate by pressing a button.
When Rob says other people, he means Dave.
My neighbor Dave and myself, what we have in common is our houses are connected and our fences touch, and we're both married. I think that's about it.
So what happens if a street hooked on Christmas has no snow?
We're going to have snow because the ice rink down the way, they scrape the ice and they pile it.
I think everybody's kind of seen the snow there.
So what we'll do is, if nobody has snow, we will have snow.
So maybe a race of wheelbarrows this year to bring the snow in.
The snow finally falls with only a few days to go before the official opening. And the lane is busy with last-minute preparations.
The cost of a cherry picker is high. It could be $300 to $400 an hour to get someone to help you do this. I worked out the cherry picker because he has 3 or 4 cats that I deal with in my veterinary clinic. So we kind of help each other out.
As Max finishes up, Rob is still, as they say, in process.
With lights on the outside, I'm not prepared to spend a lot of money on this project.
What's up, dude?
Okay, lights. How many lights do you think we need? Don't worry, okay, please. I've got them. I got it figured out. I got a guy. I'm gonna bribe him or threaten him or something. I got lights. Millions of them, but just the front? Like, can we just frame it? Or do you want to just plaster the whole thing like Las Vegas? Or...
I want to keep it simple.
Stupid.
Keep it simple.
Okay, keep it simple, stupid. Okay, mwah, I love you. I'm off to get lights. I heard you had lights.
Yeah.
A bazillion lights that I have to get.
Absolutely. I retired of it, so it'd be great.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the garages. Right
Okay,
there.
I'll follow you.
Here we are, Rob. I got a few strands over here in the corner.
Max, you have saved my marriage.
That sounds great. Oh, you're welcome. Merry Christmas. Well, I remember when I first started this whole thing.
Thanks, Max.
You're welcome. I guarantee you he's going to put 2 and 8 together and he's going to blow some breakers.
While Rob busies himself on the way to predicted disaster, his neighbor Dave takes a more relaxed approach.
Lori! Can you bring me down some tea, please?
Until this day of reckoning, the day Candy Cane Lane opens. Dave is not just a plain old procrastinator. He has a good reason for waiting. Actually, 85 good reasons.
We have a teddy bear theme with a bunch of teddy bears. So we kind of wait till the end to get everything put up. Because of the wind or weather elements, it's nice to get it kind of last day, make sure everything's okay. I'm always trying to build the perfect display. Trying to get the postcard moment, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. This is the new unit this year. New invention. Extend a paint pole. And what we've done is taken the end off a paint roller and just made a U here. So it's a lot more sturdy. So we don't snap a golf ball extender again.
Despite relaxed appearances, Dave actually has a lot more pressure on him than the average guy on this street.
That's because I married a Lori. As soon as the 1st of December rolls around, it's like, go, 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 we got to get this house done. There's definitely extra pressure with Lori being involved in the food bank. And I always feel that if we have a great display, maybe people will be in a little more giving mood.
And sometimes pressure makes us take chances. These candy canes are actually a high-risk decorating choice.
I pray for no wind for 3 weeks because they can go right through our front window. So I hope our insurance company isn't watching.
And while Dave worries about candy cane flurries, Rob White has his own pressing concerns.
So yes, I'm feeling pressure, but the work that I do is really deadline. So this brings out the best in me. He'll be about 9 feet, maybe 8 feet with his, with his head back with that snowball just right there, because I think there's nothing more Canadian and Christmassy than a snowball right to the head.
While Rob waxes on about blunt force trauma, his 8-year-old son Strider is leading the family's last-minute charge to decorate all the rest of the house before dark. Strider has been put in charge of electricity, and he's got issues.
The circuits are blowing. My dad has a bunch of high-powered fans on, taking up a bunch of energy anyways. So if he has like a bunch of these lights going and he has these fans on, it's definitely going to blow.
Being a sophomore on the lane, power problems are new for Rob. But for the veterans, it's old hat.
I've actually blown the main breaker of this box before. Must have had an imbalance or a surge, and it just blew the whole main breaker of the house. I don't know. I was very scared when that happened. It worried me tremendously.
One year we had 52 strings of lights up in the trees at the front, and we actually had so much juice running through the lines. We had a major power surge, and it blew a porcelain ring just like this out of my son's room, and we were really lucky we didn't burn the house down.
In order to resolve the electricity problem with all the circuit breakers, I'm going to go to my neighbor's and I'll just plug into his house.
Because there's people coming by, you probably want to turn on your lights.
While the Waite family battles to finish in time, Candy Cane Lane swiftly approaches its official opening.
It's my pleasure to welcome everyone to Candy Cane Lane. I'm going to hand out some scissors for the councillors and the mayor to cut the ribbon and make this official.
I'm a little bit worried right now. I think he's going to be late.
Look, white paint. That's last minute.
I'm Mayor Mandel. We're really honored to be here. I mean, there's great traditions in the city. This is one of the best.
I know it's last minute, but hey, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He will come through. He will come through. Yep.
Sure?
Yeah.
I feel good. This is good. I love Candy Cane Lane. I love it.
Yay!
Rob is now officially late. Because for the 38th year in a row, Candy Cane Lane is once again lighting it up.
I love that we can come here as a family every year and take a look at the lights, and it's all free and it's fun.
Now that it's started up again, I feel great. No better feeling than watching people happy.
It's a gift that people do for others. This is just like trick-or-treating. The lights is what these houses are giving to the people.
If I had a blue ribbon, I'd stick it on this house. My biggest critical assessment of my decorations would be not enough. Should have hung more, and should have strung up more, and just more lights in general. It's something I never had when I was a kid. It's a single-parent home, and we didn't put up that many lights, and I just love doing this.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
If I could do this all year round, I would.
Riding a one-horse open sleigh.
When the lane opens, I actually feel very relaxed because it's done, the display's built, and away we go.
Yeah. It's not done yet. I need about another hour.
One of the bonuses of living on the lane is...
Let it be known henceforth that they are duly wed.
You never know what you're going to see.
This truck is a 1963 International. It really was a fire truck at one time. We converted it into a hot tub fire truck.
I've been coming to Candy Cane Lane for 20 years. Love it. Love Candy Cane Lane.
The hot tub is 14 feet long by about 5.5 feet wide.
It's my first time in the hot tub.
It'll go from 0 to 104 degrees in about 4 hours.
But it ain't gonna be the last.
Traveling at 50 clicks an hour in a hot tub in the middle of winter does seem a bit crazy. But now it just gets stupid. Awesomely stupid. And as the first night of Candy Cane Lane comes to a close,
true that I'm a little tardy and I didn't quite meet the official 5 o'clock, but I think that what I had out there really held the audience, even though they might not have understood it.
Where's the top?
Nice pair of pants, though.
It's 11 o'clock. I am finished. The problem I have is I can't get it out of my garage because I'm missing a sleigh. Tonight, if I can find a sleigh somewhere in somebody's backyard somewhere around here, I'm going to take this and take it out of my garage, through the big door and around the block and out front, and then I'm going to set it up tonight. Tonight, I'm going to take this out of my garage, through the big door and around the block and out front, and then I'm going to set it up tonight. Are you ready, babe? Oh, yes. Kiss me. Go. Okay, I'm good now, thanks.
And only 19 hours late, Rob and Bobby have finished decorating, with only one small cosmetic change of plan.
After reviewing the piece last night and pondering over it and really taking a good look at it, weren't really sure that most people were going to get the effect that was actually a snowball.
Instead of a snowball to the head, it looked like some exploding growth, so it had to go.
We are done! I am totally excited. It's a joy, and we're done, and hallelujah, so we can now enjoy it ourselves.
If I was going to give somebody Christmas decorating tips, my tip would be move to Hawaii.
These are the original houses from Candy Cane Lane.
It's a good thing Esther Matcham didn't move to Hawaii, because if she had, there would be no Candy Cane Lane today.
My neighbor and I started Candy Cane Lane, and look what it's grown into.
Esther moved to Edmonton in 1966, and when she did, she brought Candy Cane Lane with her.
To begin with, there were 6 of us. The block was called Candy Cane Lane in Saskatoon, and so we just adopted the same name because we got the same patterns. A snowman and a candy cane.
Esther had no inkling her simple idea would eventually encompass 200 homes and 10 city blocks.
We just thought we'd brighten up the city. And that's what it's all about.
Rob's doing his bit to bring light to the world because tonight, he's good to go.
If you light it, they will come. My display is a snow boy making a person out of snow, with the snow boy's parents in the house watching him make this snow person. I want to watch, but I don't want to have people realize that I'm watching them.
That's so fun.
It's kind of creepy. It's creepy that I watch anyway, but it allows for candid comments that I get to hear, and I can also watch the display.
I love it. The best. And I want to buy some snowmen for my house.
I would like to know how many hours it took.
It's the validation for all the hard work, all the fights, all the meltdowns, all the frustrations of putting it together. Really makes it worthwhile.
I just don't know what that statue is. It's Santa. Well, that's what I think it is. Because he's got the hat and he's got gloves. I thought that was actually like a little... Oh, I think it's Santa.
Rob's eavesdropping is weird. But here on Candy Cane Lane, That's what guys do.
A lot of nights I'll sit back on the deck and just listen to the kids as they walk by.
Yesterday was really interesting because I followed an old guy who looked at the white flickering lights on the tree and he said, "My God, that's enough to drive you crazy." So I had a good chuckle with that because it's exactly what my wife said.
The men may be lurking outside, but inside, the women are boss. So if you're a guy, do not forget this tree decorating rule. Chicks hate tinsel.
It's out of fashion. I don't like icicles at all on my tree. Always had them as a child, and I don't like them.
And it gets everywhere. You track it through the house and don't like it. Don't like it. Nope.
They're messy, and I don't have the patience to go one by one.
That's it. Don't like it.
I like a nice, clean, crisp look, and icicles don't give me that, so I don't ever use them.
As a kid I had tinsel, but since I've been married, no tinsel.
I don't like tinsel.
Jane doesn't like tinsel, so I don't put tinsel up.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
Candy Cane Lane is first and foremost famous for its lights. But 12 years ago, Dave's wife Lori and her across-the-street pal Amy came up with a simple idea that took off like a rocket.
1992 was our first year that the food bank drive was on Candy Cane Lane.
We were having a cup of coffee and just said we should start a food bank drive or do something to try and gather food. We thought we would maybe over the season, maybe 12 bags is what we were going to collect.
The first night we expected, just a couple bags of food. And then
Saturday morning we get this phone call at 7 o'clock, both of us, from all the neighbors, and come pick up the food, our house is full of food.
And the lady at the very front, she had bags of groceries. She had 1,000 pounds of food in her living room, down her hallway, in her bedrooms, and there was more food coming.
And then we really didn't know what to do because it had gone beyond, on the first night, beyond what we thought we'd collect in the whole season.
That year, we collected over 25,000 kilograms of food, which is over 50,000 pounds of food that first year. That's what made our Christmas.
Hey, Lori, I need some help. Oh, sorry. That's part of why we come for the food bank. It's just a time when other people are in need, and it's just a good time to share because Christmas brings that out in people. Here, I'll take this. You take this. You just can't fill them too full. There you go.
Food bank, over the last 12 years, have collected over 190,000 kilograms of food. That's an average of just a little over 20,000 kilos.
Hey, that's it.
I think the food bank is a wonderful idea. I think it's great when people can help, especially at this time of year.
Some nights it's just us two picking up the food.
You know what, I'm just going to run to the next.
I think we're a little crazy as well.
When it's only a block long, I'm just running. It's easier to run than jump in the back of the truck. Okay, it's a bit heavy.
We're just two housewives that go out and pick up food over Christmas.
Got it. All right. All right, the last big stop coming. It's a huge one. This is the most I've ever seen in one spot. Oh, these three are heaped, and this is unusual. Perfect. All right, here we go. Heave ho. You can almost just roll it out of here into the bin. Are you sure? Okay. No bins? I believe this is a record hauling 3 bins for sure. It's been a busy night. Oh, I can take some more tins in this one. Okay.
There's a great big warehouse, and it's the food bank, and that's where it goes every night. And it's the big distributor for all the food in Edmonton. It's like the Field of Dreams, the baseball game. They just come. Whether we have advertisement or not, people know to come to bring the food.
Now this is what Christmas is all about. There.
Living on the lane means Max and Rob can also enjoy touring it. It gives them a chance to soak up the atmosphere and judge their neighbors.
I like the white lights. Yeah. And the lights along the sidewalk. That's good.
You know why I've never done that? If it snows a foot, you're toast.
Yeah.
This whole thing is toast.
You gotta bring it up.
It's beautiful.
On niceness, I'd give it a 8.
I totally agree with you. I'm going with a 7 or an 8.
Wow. Bobby and Mona take a less technical approach when it comes to appraising Christmas decorations.
Wow, isn't that nice? Beautiful. Look at how they're moving. Wow, gorgeous. So nice.
It's kind of creepy to me.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
A little off the wall. Too many different colors, actually, when you look at it.
You think?
You just stayed with the white and the red and the...
That's a color. That's very nice. Yeah.
I'd give it a 5, 6.
Oh my gosh.
I'm giving it a 6.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. Holy smokes, look at that. They're polar bears. Sculptures.
I got a lighting issue. You got different lights, stronger, blue, red.
Very, very creative.
I gotta have more lighting.
More lights.
Good job.
I'm going 9.
Yeah, I give it a 9 plus.
Never seen this before.
If not a 10.
Oh my god! Isn't that funny? Yes, isn't that funny?
Well, lights guy. Look at those chunka bulbs.
That is hilarious. Presents all over the place. I love it.
You don't have to worry about any moving parts. It's great.
It's tragic. Oh, well, it is, but it's so humorous though.
At least a 7.5.
Yeah, give it an 8.
And he's got twinkle lights.
Sometimes it's hard to beat classic simplicity.
I'm moving in. Yeah. I want it. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? It is gorgeous.
10.
10 for the house.
10 for the house. 9.5 for the lights.
Storybook. Gotta have one. I want one.
Santa would live in this house.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, as they say, everyone has their opinion, especially these giggly girls.
Isn't it gorgeous? It's awesome. These are like 3D glasses that show the lights. Mine are stars, and mine are snowflakes. Have a look. They're awesome. It's a whole other way to see Candy Cane Lane. Oh, it's great. All the headlights, it's beautiful. Yeah. Takes us back to the 70s. High school. We're enjoying it. It's a blast.
I really love Candy Cane Lane.
This little street's fame just keeps on rolling.
It was started long before I came along.
It's now attracting media and visitors from around the world.
We saw in the magazine nice pictures of Edmonton, and we just digging into research, and there was a Candy Cane Lane in Edmonton.
Merry Christmas!
And how do you say Merry Christmas in Japanese?
Merry Christmas.
Which is very different than how you say it in South Africa.
Gracias, Canada. We drove all the way from Las Vegas to see Candy Cane Lane. The lights on Candy Cane Lane are much better than the lights in Las Vegas.
They're both from Holland. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely marvelous.
We're in a small town in New York, and no,
Nothing like this in our area.
it's
We have a
lovely.
decorating contest in the town, but not one whole street where they go all out like this.
And these kids came all the way from Australia just to be closer to Santa Claus.
My grandma and grandpa and my cousins went last year.
Going to the North Pole.
And I just couldn't stop talking about Candy Cane Lane. And it sounded really good, so I was really excited to get here.
Whoa, look at that!
Obviously we're closer because we're up north more, and Australia's down south. And it's a lot colder as well, so you can tell we're getting close to where Santa lives.
I feel cold because I'm close to Candy Cane Lane, and I feel excited because there's lots of snow.
Look at the tree up there! Yeah!
The kids love it. However, being from Australia, they have one minor complaint.
I'm freezing. I feel really freezing too. Really freezing.
Yeah, and
The kids from down under might be cold, but Dean and Dave are just getting warmed up. They've got a long-running feud over whose house is the most photogenic.
May the best man win tonight. We're counting flashes for the next hour. Loser pays up a round of golf. You in?
No problem.
Tonight, they're putting their money where their mouth is. 1 hour, and the loser ponies up $100.
My whole front room was lighting up for an hour here before you got over here.
Yeah, right. Between these two houses, I will get my photo taken in front of this one. And between these two houses, I'd rather get my photo taken in front of that one.
Oh, there's one, you know. No, not to your place. Sorry, buddy.
Everybody taking photos of Rob?
How many is that?
2.
2?
No.
Oh, look, he's taking another one. Yes!
Oh,
3.
From the same person.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's flashes. It's flat. This guy loves my place.
Well, that's fair.
10 to 2.
9 to 2.
All right.
Oh, look at that. No, nothing.
He did the house next door.
No, he didn't flash these. That was my house.
No.
Oh, come on. You gotta give me one.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, you win.
Final score, Dave 9, Dean 2, and Rob 41. And there's nothing like a good dose of sour grapes when the artsy upstart next door has totally upstaged your own Pyrrhic victory.
I really think he's stooped to a very low level by putting that camera sign in the tree. That's something you and I would never do. We let our work speak for itself. We don't need a sign up in the trees in order to promote pictures.
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stoop as low as even putting those things up there, though.
Yeah.
Santa's with the blow thing up? Oh my God. Is that tacky?
Living on Candy Cane Lane is a wonderful thing, but it's important to remember, Christmas decorating can also cause pain. Literally. A candy cane fell on Dave's head.
I had one slide right off a branch and kind of glance off the old noggin. But we're okay. It's a thick skull.
You're bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
Dean cut his hand.
I bleed all the time.
Rob also shed blood.
I have bled on every one of my pieces, literally. So this is as a result of putting this together, the wireframe of this, which I did for all the pieces, the snowman, the snowboy, and the snowmom.
Dealing with hundreds of thousands of visitors can also annoy and irritate.
A lot of noise pollution. You can notice the smell of the exhaust. Last night, we were outside in the yard and you could really smell the exhaust from the cars.
I like to walk around my house, especially at night. I like to take my clothes off, change and see what's going on. And it gets to be a little embarrassing when you forget and you wave at the window and all you're wearing is your underwear. But you get used to it.
It's bumper to bumper and it's really hard to get out, especially around 5 o'clock supper time.
When it gets all backed out in the streets, we use the back alleys. That's our secret, but you can't tell anybody.
And you need to know if you light it, you will pay. A lot.
The electric bill definitely goes up.
Going to definitely go up. Probably $300 or $400.
I'd say $400 to $500.
Probably $800 or $900. And that makes me feel scared. Very scared.
So why is Rob's electricity bill so frighteningly high?
My dad has a bunch of high-powered fans on, taking up a bunch of energy anyways.
When you're paying hundreds of dollars on electricity, then something's gotta give.
We have a problem. We ran out of spares, so we were trying to make the lights last longer.
Whatever we have and whatever we've purchased and whatever we've spent is the limit of what the budget allows.
So if there's duds or if they just burn out, they're going to have to stay burnt out. We just ran out of spares, so we can't do no more repairs.
The less bulbs he has to change, the less ladders he has to climb on.
Tip I'd give somebody is if you have a lot of lights, put them all up.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everybody!
And believe it or not, some people are actually dragged here against their will.
I'm a little grumpy. My truck broke today. I got exams.
I was dragged.
I didn't drag him.
He wanted them.
I wouldn't have come. I'd sit at home and watch some TV. Some basketball highlights or something.
I thought the lane would cheer him up with all the brightness.
It was a little bit. Mostly with the people. The people and the friendships. I enjoy the best about Candy Cane Lane.
He's basically Scrooge.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
But there is a dark side to Candy Cane Lane. Shockingly, there are some homes that don't decorate. They are called the black holes. But this house takes it a step further.
This is a great place to live, except for 3 weeks out of the year when it's Candy Cane Lane.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Ho ho ho!
I wasn't too sure how it was going to go over in my neighborhood. I mean, bah humbug is part of Christmas, but the odd person was not very impressed. I had a threat in my mailbox a couple of years ago. They put a note in my mailbox that if I didn't like Christmas and we'll get you next year. That was a bit odd, but it seems to have served its purpose. The adults like it, and the kids are just not real sure about it. I would tell someone who was putting up Christmas decorations that less is more. I prefer the minimalist approach.
Now you might be saying to yourself, why live there if you don't like decorating? Well, here's the dark little real estate secret of 148th Street.
When I moved in, I actually didn't know this was Candy Cane Lane, and the people that owned the house said that it was really on the end of it. You weren't really part of it. Well, really, I'm in the middle, right in the middle.
And this Santa? He's right in the middle of it, too.
Hi, I'm Santa Claus. Kids need something at Candy Cane Lane, and I think this is it.
Hi.
Ho, ho, ho. You been a good kid all year?
No, thanks. I don't
You
want
haven't
any.
been? Okay,
I
you've
have,
been good,
but
eh?
I just don't want
Okay.
any candy. This is incredible!
And there is one thing that strikes fear into all those who live on the lane.
The one thing that you pray for every year is no wind.
Wind warning remains in effect. Wind gusts in excess of 90 kilometers an hour, and they will continue to go throughout the evening period.
Dave, look at this. I don't think this is over. Day 9, the death of Candy Cane Lane.
You're still alive.
Every year Dave says to me, Rob, pray for no wind, and we got wind.
We got wind, yeah.
Yeah, I just about died from one of your candy canes, Dave. Well, this is the piece that came at me.
Where did that come from? That's a big one.
That came from Dave's house.
There's one hanging. You truly blew it in there. That's perfect. They couldn't put it in there any better.
This just went. Why couldn't I almost be killed by a teddy bear, a stuffed teddy bear? Why not hit by one of those?
He's hibernating right now. He's having a little rest.
He doesn't want to look. He's in denial. Dave?
Yep.
I will rebuild.
You're gonna rebuild?
I'm up at 5.
Well, we're only a week
can't
into
disappoint.
We're only a week into this thing, so I think we gotta rebuild it.
And rebuild they did, with only a small price to pay.
When I began, this guy here was pushing 9 feet. He might have been a little over 9 feet. But after carrying him around and a few tumbles, and we had a near hurricane here this afternoon, He went from 9 feet to about maybe 6 feet. Top of the toque. But she's still standing.
What I love the most about it is the reaction by children. That's where I get my jollies. When the kids make a nice comment or somebody walks by when you're tinkering in the yard, that's what I love the most about the decorating Candy Cane Lane.
It's the Griswolds. What I really like about my display is that you can buy LED lights, you can put them up, you can save energy, but it's getting them to move. That's what I've done here, is to get something static to actually move in sequence, and I find that extremely exciting.
Next year we'll probably put up more lights just to compete with Dave next door.
We have a new polar bear, so I need to think about how I'm going to build on that display and make that the feature item next year.
I love the artistry of that. That's incredible. You know how much they've put into it when it's not just a string of Christmas lights.
It's addictive. It's a participation thing. If you participate once, you're hooked.
Candy Cane Lane happens because of the lights, but it's really not about the lights. It's about the tradition.
We have 4 generations here tonight. We started out when this generation was 2, and now we've got these guys 2. And no matter how busy we are, we plan a night, we all come down as a family.
It's always supper and then Candy Cane Lane and a lot of singing, a lot of fun, a little bit of mulled wine later on, and a good night had by all.
It just keeps going every year. I don't know what makes this happen. I don't know why it happens. It just happens every year.
We came as a kid ourselves, and we decided we'd bring our son out this year. It's his kind of first Christmas.
Candy Cane Lane! Nice to meet you,
Merry Christmas!
Thank you, Santa!
I'm a former Scrooge. 10 years ago, walking down Candy Cane Lane, I could give you a near quote. Who in their right mind would live on this street? Who? It's bad enough that you dragged me here?
Right.
That's what I would have said 10 years ago.
Good tidings for Christmas and a happy New Year.
I came here hoping it would lift my spirits. And it's starting to work.
Sometimes all a person needs is just a little bit of cheese.
I think that Candy Cane Lane teaches us that there's a time in our hectic lives to just slow down and take time to be with our kids and our friends and our families.
I love it personally. That's one of the big reasons why I do it. I feel very satisfied, and I can't describe it. But it's a really deep feeling of satisfaction and gratification when I pull it off.
It's just a really special place. Everybody's waving at everybody, and you know, it's a real community. It's like living in a small town, but it's a city.
It brings out the best in people. All sorts of people. People like me. And that's what's good about Candy Cane Lane.
Come and behold him, born our King of Age.
I can't think of ever wanting to leave this house at Christmas. Someone told me I'd buy a ticket to go to Hawaii for Christmas. I would say, no, I live on Candy Cane Lane. Like, to miss this is missing Christmas.
Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho!
Merry Christmas, Candy Cane Lane!